Federated Farmers has made its own apology to Chinese consumers after the Fonterra botulism scare at one of Fonterra's plants. Its Chief Executive Conor joins me now from Wellington. Good morning, Mr English. We've had some fairly robust interviews this morning. Can you give us this perspective, if you like, about what farmers are saying about this?
Oh, well, look, farmers are very concerned about this. The reputation of New Zealand dairy industry has been put on the line. It's an issue of integrity, and farmers are wondering, how did this happen? This is 38 tonnes out of 2.5 million tonnes that Fonterra produce every year. Over the last 10 years, that's 25 million tonnes that they've produced. That is tip-top quality, and now we've got this problem with 38 tonnes. OK,
nonetheless, an editorial in the Waikato Times this week suggested that Fonterra is now simply too big. Do you agree with that?
No, not necessarily agree with that. Fonterra are a company of global scale, and they have performed at an excellent level for the 10 years or so of their existence. But clearly there's been a problem here, and we've got to find out why that was, and we've got to fix it.
OK, they definitely are a company in terms of production on a global scale, but does there need to be a conversation now? Does a conversation need to be had about whether it's appropriate for an international company like this to essentially be controlled by farmers?
Oh, well, the dairy farmers of New Zealand have invested an enormous amount of money in building up Fonterra over the last 100 years, and I'm not quite sure why people would question why farmers should own it or not. I mean, I think the issue here is the performance of Fonterra on a specific shipment of 38 tonnes. We've got to get to the bottom of that. I think, confusing it with whether Fonterra should be broken up or there should be different types of shareholders isn't going to solve the problem.
Sure, but I'm not sure it's about whether or not it's 38 tonnes and whether this problem is a small problem, because, the issue is contamination really about, and it's irrelevant how big that scale is, to be honest. It's occurred.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
How do you fix it? Would you like to see, for example, more competition in this area?
Well, what we want to see is that there is absolutely no question that the product that comes out of any New Zealand dairy company and sold to the world is the highest quality, and that there are no question marks about its food safety. That's what we want to see, and now we've got question marks, and we want those question marks removed.
Well, how do you remove them? Do you look to expand on the competition here? Fonterra is a huge company.
I think firstly you've got to go back and examine and understand why this actually happened. Are there bigger issues that need to be dealt with in terms of internally to Fonterra, externally with regulation? What are the issues? What is the solution to what is clearly a problem in this situation?
How do farmers think Fonterra has handled this?
Well, I think it would be hard to find someone that says that they've handled it very well.
Sorry, what was that?
I think it would be hard to find farmers who say that Fonterra have handled it very well. But to be fair to Fonterra, it is a very difficult situation.
Do you think those opinions? Sorry, Mr English. Do you think those opinions will be reflected at board elections?
Well, look, I think we need to understand more about why this happened and have a better understanding of how they responded to it. And I just think we've got to be careful not to have a knee-jerk reaction.
Sure, but the Chinese embassy, we spoke to them. We had their opinion this morning, which I think is the first we've heard from our embassy on this issue. They said, the Chinese are saying, this isn't an isolated incident. It's not the first time this has happened, And they said, they used the term 3 strikes and you're out. Now, the implications of that, surely that one statement there are huge for any dairy farmer who's sitting at home watching this.
Right. And that's why we hope that the good folk at Fonterra take this issue extremely seriously and cooperate fully with the government and get to the bottom of the problem, and they fix it. They do have an enormous responsibility, not only to the farmers of New Zealand, but to the wider New Zealand community, and also to their consumers, whether they're in China or wherever they are. And I think they do have to focus on the consumer, not just their customer, who is the middleman on the way to their consumer.
All right, Conor, Chief Executive of Federated Farmers, thank you.